This is gonna be a good time to chat. Sorry for the lack of double videos the last couple of days. I've been like most people, I've been enthralled by E3. That's what taken most of my attention away, is E3. So I've been focusing on that. I went ahead, I watched the Smash Brothers tournament. I, like most people, say I should have said Hungry Box should have won. I mean, that dude, what's his name now? Oh, Zero. Zero did not have the exact same skill in the multi-battles as Hungry Box did. So, I thought Hungry Box should have won it. This might just be my E3 rant. I thought I actually watched the presentation from start to finish. I was pretty impressed that I actually got that. So I thought that I would go ahead and say, you know what, I did not miss it. I woke up early enough. It was 11 o'clock my time, so maybe not really early, but I woke up, got out there, watched the thing. Actually got out, it was on Twitch. That's not really got out. But I went out to Twitch. I went out to Twitch. I went to Twitch. I watched the whole thing. I really did like the Legend of Zelda. I'm not a Legend of Zelda fan. There's a reason why there's been 0 Legend of Zelda Let's Plays done on this channel, because I'm not a fan of Legend of Zelda. It's just not my style. But that was a very interesting trailer with the background there. It did look like, a lot of people said, like Skyrim basically, and I thought that looked really nice. That was really pretty looking. And the trailer after it, like the action-packed sequence, and then it was like, is Zelda a girl? Wow, man, that's the joke. Was Link the girl? Was Link a girl? And I'm like, you don't know, but could have been, could have not been, you don't know. And the developer himself said, like, who said it was Link, which was kind of like how everyone went, ooh, it could have been Zelda or something another, which I doubt it, but you know, good for all their imaginations and all. So, I mean, nothing wrong with that. But the amiibos raise an eyebrow for me. I'm like, okay. I see what they're trying to do for the Smash Brothers. I was kind of confused at first, but when they showed the after video on with the treehouse, I understood a little bit better. They're basically trying to push like customizable computer players almost. That's how it was. So, well, good for them, but I don't really see them really having a big market. I mean, is that a big thing? If they're gonna really try to push that, I mean, good for them. But I don't think a lot of people are gonna buy for Smash Brothers. I mean, that's the only thing I got was just like a customizable computer player. That's just basically it. Cool. I wouldn't fork over any more money for it, because a customizable computer player isn't the greatest thing ever. I mean, whoop-de-dip-de-doo. You can have like mirror your playing style, but I wouldn't eat that. I would just go over and play. I mean, like, you mentioned that take down the one person that you've been really trying to defeat. Well, if I just have my computer player beat it, that's not really that impressive. Not just someone else, the computer player, beating it for me. What's the fun of that? It's like using that pro mode in Donkey Kong Country Returns with the Silver Ape who just goes to the level for you. That doesn't accomplish anything for me. So, what you gonna do? But another thing with E3, Splatoon seems interesting. I might get that. Splatoon is basically a creative shooter by Nintendo, which is all for me. Creative shooters are a very small genre out there, so creative shooter, I'll go for it. But I wouldn't be like one of my first top games that I said like, oh, I'm gonna get Splatoon as soon as it comes out. No. Right now, I'm kind of putting the cool down with buying video games for now. I'm kind of waiting in the summer and see what all comes out. I want to get Tomodachi Life, but I feel like that one's more of a let's play kind of game. Like, you just watch someone play that. There's no really different experience between watching it and actually playing it, which I've realized. That's what my biggest worry is, because unless you might have a special attachment to the Miis that you put in because they're the Miis that you put in. But besides that, there is nothing really different to seeing watching someone play the game and you yourself playing the game. That's why I didn't get Tom Dodgy Life. Okay, whatever. What else about E3? I actually didn't look much into. I know that people got mad at Conquer and Microsoft, what they did with Conquer. They basically said, "Hey, look, you know, you can create." I really don't understand what exactly Project Spark is. I probably should have done my research a little bit more into this. But what they did with Conquer is they said, you know, you can be an add-on, you know, a game that everyone's been wanting for years and years and years. So we're gonna go ahead and put them in this extra in this game. By itself is not that bad, but they went ahead and in the trailer they acknowledged the fact that he has not had a game in 10 years, and everyone wanted it. They went ahead and said, you know what? Conquer come on the screen like, you know what? I've been never had a game for 10 years now. Let's go see and we can build one. And that's like a big slap in the face. It's like, you know that he has a fan base. You know that he hasn't had a game for years. But you just went ahead and said, yeah, I know that. Wow. I can't do a slap in the face sound effect. But just slapped him in the face like, too bad for you. And they just went ahead and said, yeah, well, too bad. He's not getting a game. Well, you should what? Really, Microsoft, should what? You're the one who bought Rare and all their properties and all the IPs and stuff. Why aren't you using them in their own game? You're making Rare make Connect Sports, for goodness sake. They were the geniuses behind the greatest platformers of the 90s. And you're making them do Connect Sports. Really? Really, Microsoft? I mean, that's why everyone kind of bugs about you. The fact that you did the Rare. I mean, during the Golden Age, they were like the greatest platformer making ever. And even the one like Nuts and Bolts, you went ahead and completely mocked the genre. Like, yeah, you know, like they had like the Mo collect the beginning of the game. They went ahead and collected tokens, and they had like a platforming-esque, and they were just like all running after tokens, and the guy in the head of the game, this like Pong-esque guy, went ahead and said, you know what, that's so dumb and people nowadays don't like that. That's paraphrasing. But geez, that's what people still like nowadays. They still play those games because they like it. Why don't you just make another game and just say, hey, here, you could have it. How hard would that be? Would that use your imagination at all? I mean, serious, man. Seriously. What was I? I was yelling at Microsoft. I did not look at it. Because that's the only thing I really got outside Nintendo. I was just headlong into Nintendo like normal for E3. I mean, I might get Yoshi's Woolly World. That one's not a huge thing on my wish list. I don't think really anything was besides Smash Brothers, and that's kind of dirt. Who doesn't want Smash Brothers? That's kind of like, well, a game that almost everyone wants now is Smash Brothers. But Smash Brothers looks good. I mean, Smash Brothers is always good. And it's kind of like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart are always the two games that genres I always will buy, because they're always good, and when they stop being good, I'll stop buying them. I mean, basically, for a Fantasy Life was something along the lines of that. But Fantasy Life, I forget what it was. It was some sort of 3DS RPG. That looked interesting. That they showed it off in the treehouse. It looked like basically, as someone described it in the comment section. I really did enjoy the comic section for when Nintendo streamed. They were always interesting. But one of the things was that someone said it looked like Animal Crossing mixed with an RPG, which would be really fun. What always annoys me about Animal Crossing is that there isn't a lot. It's a lot of just a life simulator. And it's a lot of just fluffy substance, and what really always makes me come back to it. Actually, not Animal Crossing. Harvest Moon is that there was really nothing to do besides farming. You were stuck at farming. But I know I'm making this. I said I compared it to Animal Crossing, so I don't know why I didn't take a short rant about Harvest Moon. But what I really liked about Rune Factory is because it's at a fantasy Harvest Moon. They went ahead and they gave you a little more options what you could do. than just farm. You can farm all you want. If you don't like to farm, you can go ahead and get your money off combat and get money that way, or get resources that way. So I really like that you weren't forced to do forced at all to do that. So it was nice. That's why I really like Prune Factory. In short, excited for Smash. Toads. There's a Toad thing that I actually didn't talk about that much, but actually really was just me. It's a nice little puzzle game. So that one maybe, and Splatoon a maybe, and then that's basically it. Fantasy Life might be the one thing I give for 3DS as well. That's basically my E3 thoughts in general. Oh, and also Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. That's probably another one that I'm definitely get for sure. Even though it's for a while before it actually ever gets here. So anyways, E3 wraps. That wraps up my E3 thoughts.